We knew we wanted to do something that was different and unusual. There's plenty of bread and butter VIs out there already. We wanted to do something that would stand out, but also be conceptually interesting.
I don't think people understand just how deep this plugin is.
Oh, exactly.
I don't.
Yep. No, exactly.
I've been using it. So.
Exactly. And we're starting to get reviews, which is part of the reason why we're kind of opening it up, is because people don't, and there's a lot of instruments out there, right?
Yes.
So we're, we built this to be different. I mean, we literally sort of sat down and said, okay, we don't want to do like a contact instrument and just do a new UI. We want to do something truly from the ground up that's new, that pushes things forwards and challenges stuff and does new stuff, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Synthesizers used to be all about just like making, some sound that you've never heard before. Let's make some stuff that people have never heard before. And the way to do that is not by, using somebody else's engine. They've already got that sound. Let's make our own stuff.
Lots of times we'll get a note, say, hey, fill this in. And then you're like, wow, there's no temp music. What am I going to do? It's like, a minute while they're talking, and you don't want it to be too busy because it's going to distract. But this is perfect because you can layer something subtle in the background, and there's enough stuff happening to make it interesting and not make it boring. So, it's nice. And this is just one patch.
One of the regular show episodes that I used Biotek on, they had temped in something, and they said make it 80s sounding, so that's when I used the bass, and it was exactly the sound I needed, exactly when I needed it.
Perfect.
Contact is, it's a great engine. It's really versatile already, but we wanted more freedom to do really interesting and different things.
Yeah, I've used the pads, I've used the basses, I've used the drums. Like every time I use it for something, I'm like, oh, I gotta remember that patch. That one's awesome. And then I open up another one and I'm like, oh, that one's awesome. I need to remember that one. And it's hard to pick a favorite.
It was exciting to me as a sound designer trying to think about, how the heck are we going to make these natural sounds musical?
Being able to just grab a sound, a preset, and for instance, playing a simple chord, but then moving it over. I mean, it's like you could end up taking that simple chord and stretching it out over the course of 30 seconds. And when you're trying to cover a scene where like something's going on, you want something subtle, but you don't want it to be the same static sound. This is perfect because there's so much interesting stuff happening that it's not just a static pad. So that saves you so much time.
But you have the technology now to create life in digital. It's just routing enough modulation routes in a very sort of subtle way to create that randomness. And so that's what you're hearing in these patches.
It's actually helped me figure out other plugins, and then I start complaining that they only have 1 or 2 LFOs, and why doesn't it do this? Because, where like a year ago, maybe the plugin was a bit much for me, now it's not enough, because I have access to all of the routing in Biotek.
You can loop the sustain stage, and you can loop the release stage. You can change the curvature for each stage. It's seriously intense stuff that you can do.
It's unique. I mean, it's not, we do stuff that is, you need the bread and butter sounds, you need your orchestra sounds, but this is, when you're looking for something different, this is like the go-to synth.
It's an incredible playground. Like I've said, I've been, programming synths professionally for 20 years, and this has been the most fun and complex, really interesting engine that I've had a chance to work on.
Anybody who lays their hands on it and touches it and messes with it will be pretty thrilled. I mean, I know I am.
It's gratifying to see musicians make music with the tools that you create.
We just tell him, I'll hold the key, and you mess. In fact, John and I did that at one point. It was like I was playing, and then he was. That's pretty cool.
It's so versatile. You can do whatever you want. make biotech your own. There's a real powerful engine in there that I'm pretty excited to see being explored in different ways.